water's edge are two signs. One says danger, deep water. The other, stay in the shallows and stay safe. And I've heard about what lurks out in the deep. Pain. My guardian angels have worked tirelessly to keep me safely away from the deep. Fear has whispered, you can't handle the pain. Guilt has demanded, how dare you approach the pain? And shame has warned me, the pain will kill you. So I've spent my life doing everything possible to stay as far away as possible from pain. When it's been unavoidable, I've obeyed the signs, stay in the shallows and stay safe. And I've waded, sometimes ankle deep, into the shallows, mucked about in the mud. But the problem with the shallows is that each time I go a little way in, I come out dirtier than before. If you've ever spent any time in a counselor's office, rehashing the same old over and over again, you know it's a great way to plaster yourself with guilt and shame, but a lousy way to come clean. I hate the shallows. But I fear above all else the waves of emotion that come out of nowhere to blindside me and then pull me under into a rip current of terror. Line? My guardian angel guilt tells me that I make the waves because I'm too sensitive. My guardian angel shame says that I make the waves because I'm so irrational. One such unexpected wave crests as I'm sitting silently in church and the preacher decides to go on a tirade against cheap grace. You have heard that God loves you just the way you are. My stomach turns to lead at his tone. My shoulder and my necks turn to rock. But I am here to tell you tonight, listen to this, my guardian angel guilt tells me, you need to hear this. That God does not love you just the way you are. I begin to flounder. I am a grown adult. Intellectually, I understand the point he's trying to make. But even as I struggle to remain rational, the tsunami engulfs me in dismay, devastation, despair. God does not love me the way I am. The 5-year-old in my heart begins to weep as this one truth that's kept me for so long is torn out. I can't breathe. I'm gonna die. I have to get out. The waves are always this way. They bowl me over, tumble me around, blend me up and spit me back out. And as I make my way back to dry land, my guardian angel's shame tisk-tisks and points to the sign, stay in the shallows and stay safe. As if to say, just think how much worse it would be if you were gone into danger, deep water. But one day, I disobeyed both signs. I let a memory I've been running from for half my life crash over me and wash me out to sea. I decide to relive this memory even if it does kill me. I decide to dive into the deep. At first, it feels like my first scuba dive. I had taken lessons and the practice pool was fine. The water was calm and clear and I could see all the way to the bottom of the pool. But once I got out of the boat and to the rope leading down into the deep, I put my face down and to my horror I could see nothing. Nothing but murky darkness. If I go down, I'll never come out. Can't breathe. I'm gonna die. I have to get... But then I hear the voice of the dive master. And he says, don't be afraid, lady. I be your angel today. And he reaches out his hand. I take his hand. He leads me back to the rope, where I descend. Deep, deep, deep down to the door of Grandma's hospital room. I have spent half my life running from this room, trying to forget everything about it. How the 5-year-old in my heart begged to stay in the waiting room. I wanted to remember Grandma happy. And I pleaded, don't make me go into that scary room. How I was told, get in there and see your Grandma. And so I forced my 23-year-old self through the door. How terrified I was, alone in this room, with machinery and beeps and blinking lights, and something in the bed that could not possibly be Grandma. For 23 years, of precious memories were captured and held hostage behind this door and in this hospital room. Ever since then, all it takes is one thought of Grandma, and I'm overwhelmed by fear and guilt and shame. They were right, I shouldn't be here. I can't handle the pain. I can't breathe. I'm gonna die. I have to get... But suddenly, I see the unexpected, the unfathomable. The darkness is gone. The water is clear. I can see for miles in every direction, and it is light. How can there be this much light under so much darkness? I try to understand, but I give up, as the beauty overwhelms my senses. My favorite lines of poetry come to life. We were the first who ever burst into that silent sea, because this is a first for me. I go deep into this hospital room, and I am flooded with other memories of Grandma. Walking to her house after school every Wednesday in 4th grade and sitting at her kitchen table, which was always covered with a tablecloth hand-crocheted in gold thread that she'd made herself. And she always asked me about my boyfriend. She was the only person who knew I had a boyfriend. I go deep into this hospital room, and I am borne away by another tide of memory, this time all the wacky baldness cures she used to cut out of magazines and surreptitiously leave on my father's desk for him to find. I go deep into this hospital room, and I ride the current of remembering the crush she had on my fiancé. I didn't know how crazy she was about him until we found the envelope marked Daniel and Cheri, full of carefully saved $1 bills in the back of her desk drawer when we cleaned out her house. I stay deep in this hospital room, and I soak in the tastes and smells of Grandma's cooking. California Pizza Kitchen has a smashed pea and Dakota barley soup that tastes ever so slightly like her split pea soup, but hers was 10,000 times better. And her Streuselkuchen, oh my goodness. I used to snitch the topping off of it when it was still hot, and she would scold me, "Noschen, ask for both them," with a twinkle in her eye. I stay in this hospital room, and I soak in the sounds of Christmas Eve, Grandma's birthday, me at the piano as she sang, "Oh, Holy Night," and she could nail the high notes on "Oh, Hear the Angels' Voices." And every year she'd go home, and I'd come back to the piano, and there would be a $1 bill waiting for me. Deep, deep in this hospital room, I remember what a real angel's voice sounds like as I bask in the memories of 23 precious, blessed years with a Grandma who loved me. Yes, just the way I am. my so-called guardian angels, 3 demons in disguise, told me that if I came down into the deep, I would surely die. Now I know their lie. It is not I who die when I go into the deep. It is this unholy trinity of fear and guilt and shame that die, not me. This place I once feared as a place of death is in fact a place of healing. I have a hint of what the poet Rumi meant when he said that the cure for the pain is the pain. So I pick up my 5-year-old self, and we sit with 23-year-old me, and I say, I should never have forced you in there. I'm so sorry I pushed you in when you weren't ready. And together, we stand by Grandma's bedside and bathe her in our tears. Not because we are too sensitive or so irrational, but because we are learning that the cure to anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. Ich liebe dich, Großmutter. I love you, Grandma. I've learned how to tell angels from demons. A demon is anyone who tells you that the shallows are safe, who sacrifices others to protect themselves, and who deals in fear and guilt and shame. An angel is anyone who accepts me and loves me the way I am, who says, don't be afraid, and who reaches out a hand. I've put up new signs at the water's edge. This one says, skip the shallows. And this one says, die